is Dr. Michael P. McLean, Director of New Product Development at Colorado State University, Online Plus Division of Continuing Education. He is an entrepreneur and owner of Agro Design LLC, a low-cost marketing solution that helps you give your non-profit organization or business the edge it deserves. Prior to that, he has also served as a Community and Extension Engagement Director at Colorado State University Online Class. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you. Just one correction, I'm not a doctor. I'm sitting in a room full of really great doctors, so I don't want to take away from anybody. I know.
Okay.
But thank you very much for having me today. Real pleasure talking. I will be real brief so we can get to some tea and snacks. At least I can get to tea and snacks. So one of the things that we did that I'm hearing a common theme with is we took some extension programming that was traditionally delivered face-to-face. We built that into an online delivery mechanism and actually broke it into 16 smaller elements. So I've heard about 4 themes today that I kind of want to address. One of them is student choice. One of them is skills-based learning. The other is affordability. And then kind of this element of granularity. So real small tangible elements or small tangible courses. So just touching on those real briefly, what we did is we took one course, built 16 short courses that range from about 1 week to 3 weeks. And each of these are based on skills. And so these are designed to allow students to actually show what skills and proficiencies they have versus simply earning a grade. After proving those proficiencies, they receive a digital badge and a certificate. Much different than a degree or a diploma, but they actually have a badge that represents a specific skill set. So what we're doing is when we're talking with employers, we're actually showing these specific skills to employers and allowing the employers to choose these employees based on the skill sets that they have. So it's one step further than your traditional course and/or degree. I would say probably just the easiest way to think of it, and this is just another model out there, we have MOOCs at Online Plus. We have about 27 degrees actually. We've got master's degrees and bachelor's degrees and PhDs. But one of the places I like to look at most is where we're at in this room today, where we're looking at innovative technologies to provide access to education. I'll leave you as kind of this parting thought of the model that we took with digital badges as we move into these next conversations. If you look at the iTunes model, it's very similar to what we're talking about in this room. So you're able to buy one element of a course or one piece of a course versus a whole album. So traditionally you had to buy a whole album, a whole CD, a whole record. Now you're able to buy one song at a time, and that's what we're allowing people to do with digital badges. Take the pruning course if you just want the pruning course. Take the herbaceous plants course if you just want the course about flowers. So I leave you with those parting thoughts as we move into our discussion later on. Thank you.
When I said all the world over need not prepare the same thing, I am also saying that we should try to identify that component which is common, and then you can codify that. And for the different regions that have different things, you can use this idea of customization and personalization, which was talked about earlier in the technology sessions. And I think these ideas can be there as we talk about customizing for a region or an area. And then the SWAYAM platform also proposes to have language-based things, so that as you are developing the course, you prepare a transcript for the same and have that be translated into the appropriate language, so that that can also be available.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think we also did not say, but we are planning for this language also. That we were under this impression, because this extension is a very important component. So we already had this in our mind that this needs to be translated.
Any other remark or comment on the presentations made in this session? Okay. Thank you. I have a few things to share with you regarding these things. When at my institute, about a year back, I thought that it is important to develop less than 2-minute videos, which will be helpful for a single question. Some nano learning, which is one of the speakers was telling, that they should be able to look at it. So initially I targeted for 50 videos, and we could complete only 16 videos so far. So in the action point, it's not as much as we dream, but a beginning has been made. Because what we thought is that we have 3 major mandate crops of sunflower, safflower and castor. For these 3, we just thought that around 2000 videos of less than 2 minutes each will cover almost all technologies available which can be shared. Technology, when I mean, putting a buckle when you sit in the aeroplane seat is also a technology. That's what they teach when you enter into the flight. So these simple questions in agriculture also have large difference. The depth of soil, it may look very simple, but even that different types of soil, it makes a lot of difference. So these 2-minute videos probably would look a great addition of reaching the technology which are without any language problem to the farmers, and even with subtitles if required, it can be directly translated. So this is one thing which I thought all the members and associate members who are going to become partners of this consortium should really prioritize and focus what is it that immediately should reach, and who are your target audience, and what is our target national requirement. Then the other thing is, as I told already, the concept has been very well conceived and very well placed, including the bylaws. But little bit of pain had occurred to me, along with some of the vice chancellors who pointed out that the main stakeholder is the farmer. Even though your first statement of the purpose certainly covers everybody in this world, it is covered. But the main stakeholder somewhere mentioned would really make some priority of the main stakeholder also getting even 15% priority for the farmers reaching the technology through these MOOCs probably could make some sense. Then another point is the wonderful idea of that Pathak and many others who said the blended MOOCs and then informal sharing of the information, interaction, whatever it is there, the group discussions available, recorded. These are the best things. But then before we anything think of this, my request to the Vice Chancellor is that can we really put before the competent authority like boards, university boards or whosoever, that we recognize some of the MOOC courses as prerequisites or as courses already learned if a certificate comes from any consortium. Is it possible? Can we make a step towards it? That makes a lot of sense. Then another thing which I am also very happy to listen about Maharashtra Open University, that it is now necessary that linking between the open universities and agriculture universities is a major immediate requirement. Linking the open universities with agriculture universities. I 100% agree with many of them that agriculture is different, a profession where it requires skilled experience. But there are certain courses where it can go definitely into the open course, which can be straightaway acceptable to everybody. So this, can we make some effort in linking these universities, making them sit together and come out with some courses which can straightaway will be useful. And one of the most interesting things is that in the first presentation itself, that researchable issues in capacity development. I think it's almost a gray area, where you have listed so many things in the capacity development researchable issues, which can be a target area for the consortium. And it really works wonders. Then another idea is that most of you have talked about Bollywood, Hollywood, but then I also would like to say Angry Bird and the Temple Run. These are some of the games which children play so passionately. Then can we come up with some games where they learn while playing the game? So if I am a soybean cultivation I would like to teach, at the end of it I say, I followed these steps and I got 40,000 rupees income per hectare or per acre. Then, or I lost my money because I forgot to spray sulfur or to give some zinc or something like that. I don't know. That there is an exciting possibility of developing some games and some which will really attract the youth. Because ICR is now having a separate project called ARIA, attracting rural youth for agriculture. So this rural youth, do not consider that as Dr. Dilip has rightly put out, you don't require formal education to use a computer or to see a YouTube. Rural youth are completely exposed to the smartphones and they can really learn and they can play the games, they are already playing games.
What they are viewing is much important.
Yeah, they definitely view. Yeah, what they are viewing is, but they will view your games only when they are interesting, at the same time educating. I think some budget allocation for this would be really helpful because when you are thinking of the finances of the consortium, then I was only reminded of the National Gene Fund, which is created under the Biodiversity Act, that the fund whichever is excess of your expenditure comes, then you can fund it for the projects for the members or in the open platform, which can run. You start funding rather than you look for funding. That kind of thing can be thought of. Then another thing which, the last thing that I would like to share with you is that already shared by NGOs, that there is, they say that once I said I want to conduct a training program for a tribal people, the NGO head told me that you are too autocratic, authoritative, you think that you know everything and you want to train our people. You don't think that our people know anything. So there is a vast amount of knowledge with the tribal farmers, with the communities, which also requires peers should know to take the advantage and to learn from them. So can there be a platform where they can also put up a course? As a pilot, we can always help you in getting one small course by the tribals, for the tribals, a small MOOC course in a video form. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Dr. Dilip, extremely I am thankful to you. It's a wonderful learning experience.